Hello, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. How are you all today? Hey, Jaded. Oh, thank you. Actually, they're not supposed to be any space in between, but it's all, it's a mess. But thank you. Hey, Glenjamin. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, Chris, Luana, Angie, MK, Jan. Hey, Steph. Hey, Amy, Connie. How are you guys? I'm really excited. Hey, Melinda. Hey, MK. I saw Punksy, Tia. Hey, Amberlou. Sinful Butterfly. So I'm really excited because we do have a special guest tonight. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Island Girl. Candy Cane. Hey, Forever Chasing the Sun. We have a special guest tonight, and thank you, Forever Chasing the Sun. If you think I bring the smiles, you haven't met JENN LU, because she has a really great way of talking about true crime. She makes you think about it and laugh at the same time, and not in a disrespectful way. And she's backstage, so I'm going to bring her up right now. Oh, okay, Amy. Awesome. Hey, Maurice. Hey, Jen.
Hey, babe. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great.
Well, I'm so excited that you're here.
I know, me too. I love being at your house. It's so much fun.
JENN LU is a riot. Hey, Aussie True Crime. So yeah, we're good with the upcoming trial, which Jen and I are covering together. You guys know that. Hey, Truth Teller, we wanted to discuss like little parts of it before it started. So on her channel, we're going through the pre-trial hearing, which is just insanity. They put out a ton of information in that. I hope that Brian Koberger's is the same because it's Idaho. But
yes.
Today we're going to talk about, which do you think it will be, by the way? Speaking of that?
Probably.
I do too. Hey, Pepperminty. So today we're going to talk about Alex Cox and Lori's relationship. So Lori Vallow's brother is Alex. And for those of you who don't know the case so well, Alex is how they found the kids. They used his phone, location from his phone. The FBI did. It's more than just towers. This is like new technology. And they were able to tell exactly where he was standing in Chad's yard. And that's where the kids were. So he plays a huge role in this. He's actually the last person JJ was seen with by Melanie She Bangs Gibb.
Yes, she bangs.
Yes. And, so yeah, we're gonna listen to a phone call from his ex-wife talking about it, and we can just discuss as well, because there is, what did she call him? Like, remember when she calls him her angel, like her guardian angel, or it's like her.
Yeah, something like that. But it's not even really the pet name that she has for him. I mean, although it is kind of it's extra, but Lori is extra. So It's not even so much the name. It's the tone of voice she uses when she calls him that name. It's just it has a level of ick to it that is, it just makes you be like, wait, what? Did she?
Yeah.
I
completely agree with you. Even just the way they are, and think about those photos. I'm going to actually pull them up before we start. The photos from the, what is it called? That park where they were last seen, where they have the hot springs.
Is it not Yosemite? Is it Yosemite?
No, it's the other one. Some wig went out west anyways. A big, oh gosh, I wish I could think of what it's called. But that is where, the last day, right before Tylee went missing, and Alex, and just he's standing over her shoulder. Here we go, all creepily. Here, let me pull up some of these photos.
All right, I'm looking in chat for the answer because I feel like chat will have the answer. Yellowstone. That's it, Yellowstone.
Yes, Yellowstone. So, and here's one. In one, he's looking at the camera, but here's the one where he's looking at the camera. Look at him. And knowing that they leave here, and he is responsible partly for Tylee being not only killed, but dismembered and burned and disregarded in the way she was. Like, he just believed. People say that he really believed Lori. He would do anything for her. Anything for Lori. Hey, 5678. Let's for
See,
two
that
more.
makes me just really think that I know that people think because of the whole, hey, Stephlin, the whole cult thing and all that business that it was Chad doing all the running the show, but I really don't. I really believe that, especially after we were ATS News went through some stuff Monday morning, I think. Yes, Monday morning, and I was watching that, and someone in chat had asked about when did she meet Chad, but it's Charles Vallow's body cam. It's the body cam from when he called the cops. Okay. And this is 2019. That's when this took place. And he's talking about her having these kinds of thoughts 4 or 5 years before, which is before she ever met Chad Daybell. So I really, really think that she saw something in Chad that she thought she could, what's the word? Use, and it starts with an E.
Oh, I don't know.
It'll come to me in a minute, but yeah, all that.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say it's exploit. She saw something she could exploit in him.
Ooh, okay. Well, you know what? That really lines up, honestly, with other things that we know. Like, think about that recording of her saying she wanted to murder Joe Ryan. She was
Yes.
caught on video. She says, I was going to kill him. Like, I was. And
Yes. Because she's a messed up bitch.
Yep,
I don't know any other way to say it. I really do feel like she, and the way that I think Lori does her manipulating isn't direct manipulation. She is the type of person that will manipulate another person in such a way as that they think it's their idea. So I think that Chad probably did think that he was running the show, but in reality, it was always Lori.
Oh, yes. I think you're dead on there. And he probably got off on the fact that he thought he was running the show. He thought he was in charge, and the whole time she's like, little does he know. Yeah.
Exactly. Because see, in the Mormon religion, what I have learned, and I'm not blaming the religion or anything like that, but this is the way that Lori and Chad grew up. They grew up in the Mormon religion. Or with the Mormon religion. In the Mormon religion, the woman listens to the man because the man is in the priesthood and he receives revelation from God. And so, yeah. And so that's why, and I to be honest with you, I can't remember if women receive revelation or not. I know they tell women to pray on things, but I don't know if it's the same as, I don't know if they call it the same thing.
Right. Well, think about a lot of religions are very, they're, the man is usually, running the show, and the wife basically serves him in a way,
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Hey, Mars. Hey, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Elizabeth said, I love this brain activity together. Yes.
Me too.
Me too. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our little call. It's just right here. I already have it.
Okie dokie.
And then I think, should I just play it and pause if we have something to add, or
yeah, we can do it you do it however you want to.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just let it play, and I'll stop in a minute and we'll talk as we hear things. If you hear something you want to comment on, though, let me know, because I'll stop then too.
Okay.
Every time I hear Mormon, I think of Jodi Arias killing Travis after she converted. Oh, that case.
That's another one.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, that one, and the photos that ended up coming out of like that she took. Remember?
Yes. Oh, and then when he had her in the interrogation room and he was asking her about all the, we found some photos, and he goes to show her, right? And he's clearly embarrassed. Not Jodi. She's damn near climbs across that table to get a better look. And then she's like, I mean, it looks like me, but I don't know if it is, girl.
Oh my God. And her, oh my God, think of her heads. I would love to hear you give commentary during her headstands and
Oh, I did.
Wait, you have?
I've roasted Lori Vallow. I mean, yeah, I
feel like
did. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I roasted her. Me and Dr. B both did.
Yes.
Twice.
Twice. I could just
She's not messed up.
What you were saying when she was doing her headstands and her singing lessons and all.
Oh, yes. Her whole holy night. My favorite part though is when she like leans back, and I was like, Dr. B, is she gonna do it? Is she gonna do it? Yep, she did it. Stuck her finger in the light socket. It didn't do anything.
Yeah, too damn bad.
She didn't do anything, but she tried.
Okay.
She's a mess.
Yeah, need to watch that. Add it. Yeah, Elizabeth said I need to watch that video. Me too, Elizabeth.
Oh yeah, we roasted her good.
Glenjamin said crying right now. The cartwheels, yes. Oh my Lord, have mercy. But that poor man. All right, I'm gonna press play. So
Okay.
Again, you guys that don't know, this is Alex Cox's ex-wife, and she's talking to a detective in Arizona. I believe this was part of the dump when they dumped all that paperwork. They dumped a ton of documents. Like there's like 2,500 documents, phone records, emails, everything, and this was part of that.
Okay.
Here we go.
Investigations, Detective Coons.
Hi, Detective Coons. This is Debbie. I'm returning your call.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you for calling back.
Sure.
So, I'm not really sure. Did you provide the Chandler Police Department with a tip on a specific homicide investigation?
I did.
Okay. I didn't want to lead into what the information was or anything like that, or even assume that it was you, because sometimes people play games with us online. So,
Sure.
So,
are they from YouTube?
I've read the information that you provided, and I'm assuming you typed the information out.
I did.
Okay. What is it?
Are they from YouTube?
Yeah, because he said sometimes people play games with us on the internet. And I said, are they from YouTube?
I'm so stupid. I was like, huh?
You're not stupid. It was just a shitty joke.
That's so funny. Okay. Hey, we do need a flow chart, Lori. That would be great to go with my little chart thing. I can put that up for a little bit too. I'll take it down though. So there's nothing on this video, I don't think, anyways. They're pictures. But okay. Are they from YouTube? I'm sorry.
That you can actually talk to us about regarding all of this?
Well, I can only share the conversation. So I was married to Alex many years ago, and our marriage ended within a year, but we stayed in very close contact for several years. And I spoke to Alex last, right after he had served time in jail for the assault on Joseph Ryan. And when he was telling me about...
Okay, so I want to pause here because he assaulted another one of her husbands. You know, he's
surprise.
Mm-hmm. He has a history of that kind of thing. So just want to note that.
Now, Alex, I'm sure you know from your investigation, was a comedian. And he was always joking about things in a funny way or trying to be funny. And he did tell me he was still really, really mad at Joseph Ryan because of things with his sister Lori.
Okay.
Custody issues. And he had told me that Joseph Ryan had possibly sexually abused the kids, Colby, as well as Tylee. But when I would ask Alex a lot of questions about it and try to dig deeper, then it would turn into, well, we're just trying to get custody. And he would flip-flop around quite a bit on whether or not that abuse had actually taken place, whether they had any proof it had taken place, or if they were just playing games to try to help his sister get custody.
Mm-hmm.
But in that conversation, he told me that he wanted to bait Joseph Ryan into a fight so that he could kill him. And if I had really at that time thought he was serious, because he said it in a joking way, but it was still creepy and weird.
Okay, so I wanted to tell you something, Jen, and the
Yes,
chat
ma'am.
too. When Lori and Joe Ryan got divorced, like Lori, you probably know this stuff, but in case you don't, or because it wasn't really
Sometimes I'd be forgetting, Allie. Like I got a lot of, I only have so much space up there. It's mainly full of music lyrics and movie quotes. So there's not much room for other stuff.
Not a lot of room for this kind of shit.
No, it gets written over real easy.
Okay, so Lori and Joe Ryan had like a horrific custody battle. And during the custody battle, remember Colby claimed that Joe
Yes, I
touched
do
him?
remember this. Yes, I do.
Mhm. And they also claimed that Tally did. Well, now, so at the time, this man and woman who watched over their visits, they couldn't comment on it then, but now that it's all said and done, they have came out and commented, and they said they believe it was all a farce, basically, that there was not any abuse that had taken place, and that Lori was using it to try to get custody. So what she's saying here kind of adds up.
Yeah, it's lining up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. Hey, Smita.
Hi,
Shmita. Weird enough that I never spoke to Alex again. That was the last time I ever talked to him. I just thought, okay, jail has not been kind to him. He's off his rocker. I really don't want to have this guy in my life anymore.
Oh, okay.
So I just never spoke to him again. That was the last time. But he had told me he wanted to bait him into a fight so that he could kill him and claim self-defense.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, isn't that pretty much exactly what he did with Charles Vallow?
Yep, exactly.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad she decided to call in.
How long after?
I know. What did she say at the beginning? Because I don't have my headphones, so I have to
She
mute.
said that at the time she thought he was joking, and but it did creep her out. And she wishes she would have, if she had really thought it was serious, she would have called it in. But she thought that basically because he's made that joke, and then it ended up happening to Charles Vallow. She thought she should come. She should let people. She should let him know.
I get it.
Yeah.
Headphones is in the chat instead of here. Thanks a lot, headphones.
Yeah, headphones. Come on.
You can be in both, but you're nowhere to be.
Joe, or how long after Alex had been released from serving his time that you guys had this talk?
I think it was probably 2-3 months.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on the dates, but I know it was relatively soon after, just not immediately.
Okay. Did he ever go into any details of what he did to Joe or anything like that, or why he did that?
Yeah, he told me that he had tased him, and he told me that the reason he did it was because Joe was making it difficult for Lori to get custody of the kids. He also claimed that he did it as punishment for sexually abusing the kids. He said he thought Joseph deserved to die because of the sexual abuse. But really, Alex couldn't provide any. Well, I didn't feel, because I was like, well, are you sure? How do you know? did you take the kids to a doctor? I was asking a lot of questions, and he just couldn't be straight with the answers. But those were his reasons that he stated to me that he tased Joe.
Okay, and did he say that he had tried to kill Joe that time, or was it something different?
He didn't say he was trying to kill him. He just wanted to hurt him.
Okay.
But he did tell me he wanted to kill him, but I took it more of, I want to kill that guy, just kind of conversational. I didn't think he would actually go do something like that.
Okay.
I was even shocked that he tased him. But I didn't even know about the tasing. I heard about it from Alex.
What do you mean you didn't know about the tasing?
I'm just going to ask the same thing, officer.
Alex had kind of fallen off the radar for we hadn't talked for about a year. And so I just thought he kind of fell off the radar. And then we talked, and he told me where he'd been the last year and what he had done.
Okay. When did you guys get married?
We got married in 92.
So then you got divorced in 93?
Yeah. Yeah, that, I don't know that this helps anything with the investigation, but as soon as I married him, I didn't know his family before we got married. We dated.
Here we go. It sounds
Here
like
we go. She's about to spill the tea. Come on, sis. Let's hear it.
All the family business.
Let's hear all about this. Let's hear about Lori, Crazy Pants.
Whirlwind romance, got married. Then I got to know the family. And there were so many crazy dynamics in that family and I've gone back since all of this came out and read my journals from that period of time. And there was just a lot of crazy dynamics in that family back then. And it caused a lot of issues right away. And it actually made me scared and nervous.
How so?
And we fought about, because there was a lot of inappropriate sexual touching and things going on in the family, particularly between him and his sister.
So between Alex and Lori?
And Lori.
Oh, my. Trigger warning, you guys. Just in case.
Yeah, because they've already went into ABUSE and, a lot of sexual touching. So I don't know exactly what that entails, but
yeah, I had a sister growing up, so I don't know for firsthand how brother and sister relationships are. However, I have 2 boys and 2 girls, and I can tell you right now that nobody would ever say that about this family as far as that goes. These kids, if you listen to all of us have a conversation with one another, the way we all make fun of each other, you'd be like, you might think, golly, they're really mean to one another, but that's just how we express love in this family.
Oh my God.
We don't have appropriate coping mechanisms, apparently.
Exactly what you mean, though, because you would literally, my 2 oldest brothers, they are very protective of me and they love me. That I was a baby. They were 9 and 13 when I was born. So they, I'm like a baby to them still, and they protect me. So they do baby me, but there is no way anyone would ever say sexual touching ever.
Right.
Ever.
If anything, so my oldest 3 I had both boys first and then my daughter. And so they always looked out for her. And I mean, they would argue and stuff, but I don't even actually remember them ever hitting her, ever.
Yep.
I mean, they would fight and say nasty things to one another, but I don't ever remember. I know that I don't think they did, not even when they were little, because I mean, we just, and she didn't hit them either. It's not like we told the boys, boys don't hit girls. We just told everybody to keep their damn hands to themselves.
Yep. Absolutely.
Now, the
Well,
boys used to beat the crap out of each other,
yes,
but they
yes.
didn't beat, there was none of that with their sister.
Even
or
my
either one of
dudes,
them.
and there's a major age difference, like 8 years, and they still wrestle like crazy. But me and my brothers were very much like your kids, like
Yeah.
they looked out for me, yes, and they loved on me, but not like that. Like,
Right. And
who
even
is
though
the
there's like
ex-wife?
sorry.
No, I was just reading a comment. Go ahead.
Even though there's like a significant age difference between my oldest son and my, the older three and my youngest daughter, there's 7 years between my youngest daughter and my oldest daughter. And even they really didn't hit each other either.
Yeah.
I do remember they were pretty strict with their baby sister. Like they wouldn't just let her point at stuff. They would make her talk, and she would, say the word and stuff like that. So
it'd be like, use your big girl words, and kind of tough.
And that's why she came out, singing things like 303, don't trust a hoe and stuff, because she spent a lot of time with them. You ever heard a 3-year-old singing? Shush, girl. Shush your lips.
Oh my God, how cute.
Yes. That's why.
Girl.
Yeah, and even though she's from Texas, she had a weird like Boston accent when she was little. So when she would sing stuff like that, she sounded like she, like straight from Boston, and she'd just be in the back in her little car seat, just singing away. And I would just be like dying laughing, but also thank God it's just us in this car, because this is not Target singing. You can't do this kind of singing inside Target. Get it all out your system now.
It's not the most appropriate song for you, but
no,
in the car, it's okay.
In the car.
Kokomo asked, who is so it's Alex Cox's ex-wife, and it's the Arizona police. And if you rewind, I can't remember the detective's name. He does say it, but it was taken, during the investigation, since, all in Arizona. So
yeah, Chandler PD, I think is who said it. Who said he was with Chandler PD.
Yep, that makes sense, because that is I think the one that was there that day when Charles,
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, MK Ultra. Oh, I'm so sorry. Unique trauma, especially when it's got to do with someone I know. Yeah, that's heavy stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Kind of got me at a loss on this one. What do you consider inappropriate sexual touching?
Like they were simulating sex acts, and which is not normal to me for a brother and a sister.
Simulating?
I would have to say,
example,
I don't technically like the word normal, because normal's relative, but Lordy B.
Legs around his waist, and he would.
I'm so dumb. I was trying to pause it, and I just muted it on my end. Like I muted me to listen to you.
I just I don't like the word normal, because normal's relative, but I would have to agree that I don't think that behavior could be considered healthy for anybody. Like I don't think it's just unique to her being like, what the hell is going on? I think that's pretty much anybody that we're watching that would have the same reaction.
Yep, I totally agree. Yeah, everyone in the chat, WTF, like over and over again. We're all like,
See, and what's going to suck about this?
Down on himself.
Okay.
I just thought of this. Sorry. What's going to really stink about all this is that her thing is not going to be. Hers is just going to be audio only. And I'm curious if we're going to bring this up at all, because I think they're going to bring up Alex. And so if they were to play this phone call, I would just want to see Lori Vallow's face. That would be very telling as far as
I think they will.
you know how people will have a face when they hear somebody saying something about them that's a lie, how they make a face, but then they also make a face when they hear somebody telling something that they know is the truth, but it's messed up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And they're mad about
totally
that.
And I think they will, or at the very least. Now it sucks because they're severed, because I damn sure think that Chad's lawyer, John Pryor, is going to, because he said, I don't know, his line of questioning a couple of times, like he said little things that kind of hint to it.
Yes. In the pre-trial when we were listening last, yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
So, I mean, which that sucks. We won't get to see her face then, but we'll get to see Chad's. And Chad was sitting like, when, I don't know, I just think Chad's about to turn on her just by the things his lawyer has said, and he sits right there beside of him. It just seems like he might
see. I think this was I think that it may appear to like us that they're turning on one another, but I actually think they know that this is what they have to do. Right. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think they're okay with it. I think it's like they've agreed upon it.
Okay. It's possible, since they had that meeting this summer. So, Jay, I'm going to link it right here. You can go listen to the audio on your own. We are doing this to conversate and talk about what's said and give our commentary. I want, like, when you said sorry for pausing, I'm like, just now, you're like, no, sorry, this came to my head. I was thinking, don't say sorry. I love to hear your thoughts on this. You tell me anytime you have a thought we'll pause it, and if people, there's the link in the chat, Jay. So that's just not what this lab is, but...
Right.
Okay.
We have to pause also for fair use.
Yep. Every, like, I don't know that. The laws into fair use are very weird. It's not very clear, what is fair use. I don't know. It's weird.
It is very subjective, but if you pause frequently and there's enough commentary where it's almost a completely different content, that's considered to be transformative enough. So it's harder for somebody to get you for, like, actually sue you for copyright. It's harder for them to win.
This Modine is in your chat all the time too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that all of my little anecdotal nonsensical stories qualifies enough as transformative. It's not even the same video. For reals. All right, hit it.
Yes.
Hear what they have to say.
And Jay, I made sure to just go ahead and freaking hide you from the chat. So just to let you know, have a nice day. Nice to meet you, but you're not welcome back here. Okay. Don't be rude to me with the peace sign. I was being nice afterwards. Wow.
Nice.
I just thought, you know what? Screw it.
Well, all right then. Bye.
Bye.
In front of me, and they would moan and simulate sex acts. And I have brothers, and I would never act like that with one of my brothers.
Okay.
And his mom and dad talked about their sex life in front of us constantly, and it just kind of seemed to be a game for them.
Oh, the mom and dad really object to it then, huh?
No, not at all. All of this was going on in the family, in front of everybody. They had no shame.
Okay.
Indeed.
So that obviously was kind of an alarm for you, I'm assuming, during your marriage.
Yeah.
And did it continue? Was it more than one time that you saw it?
Yeah, it was just about every time we were with them. Now, Alex and I only lived together married for about 4 or 5 months. And then I just knew that family was too weird, that I had made a big mistake. And so I got out.
Wow.
Okay. So at the time, were you guys part of LDS?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, both of us had been baptized, but neither one of us were being active.
Okay.
And I was only baptized and active for a year of my life anyway. I wasn't really raised LDS.
Alrighty. How did Al talk about Lori?
Well, he was a really, really protective big brother, but he also talked about her being hot, and he sexualized her quite a bit.
He talks to his wife about his sister being hot.
That's weird. I'm
Oh my
sorry.
God,
I don't
that
want to
is
be
weird.
judgy or anything, but that's friggin' weird.
Yeah, I think that's normal to be judgy of, like, that's extreme. Like,
I don't
can
think
just
that my
picture
boys have ever called their sisters beautiful or pretty, let alone hot. Not
yeah,
pretty or
beautiful or pretty
beautiful.
that'd be
No,
different. But
they say all the time. They're always giving each other a rash of shit. I've never heard them or even heard them talk about their sisters to somebody else like, oh yeah, my sister's pretty. I've heard like their girlfriends say your sisters are pretty, and the boys will be like, oh well, thanks. Like they're very they don't they don't think their
yes.
sisters are. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah,
But they'll say
like
thank
my
you.
brothers.
They have manners. I mean, I didn't raise heathens, but I mean, they don't know what to do with it.
They're wild animals. No, I'm just kidding.
Pretty much.
I was gonna say hi to Hawaii Heather and Karen Canada, and MK Ultra says, "How am I single and this guy is the creepiest?" Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Really, we don't have an answer for that one.
Yeah,
we just don't know. Only child here.
Maybe the next time a girl says something about says something negative, MK, maybe just Ultra play them some of this interview and be like, really, I'm not that bad. I can work on it.
Not that bad. I can work on it. Hey, Modine says, TT, do a live one of these days. I agree, Modine.
I say the same.
I have a boy and a girl, and my son would never call her pretty. He'd beat someone's ass over her, but he wouldn't compliment her ever.
Exactly. There you go. That's what I was trying to say.
I love that ever at the end. Like, this is dead serious.
Ever. This is more serious than the time NK said never.
Yes. But he was just also really, really protective. We lived in the same apartment complex for a while, and it just kind of seemed like Alex just chased after her a lot.
Did you ever suspect anything more going on other than their playfulness, I guess?
Well, I asked him because he did touch her breasts and things, but they were allowed to do that in their family. So to him, he didn't.
They were allowed to do that in their family? Like, it's just normal to walk up to the women and like, hey, how you doing?
I mean... was he wearing the FBI shirt? The federal bikini inspector shirt. Is that what was happening? I'm very confused because I don't understand how that's allowed in the house. That seems very yikes.
It's allowed. That was allowed in their family. Like that just makes it seem like it's
that's
totally
like somebody
normal
saying they were allowed to have cookies for breakfast. She's saying it with the same. I mean, you can tell she's like weirded out by it, but it's like to say it was allowed. That's like, I mean, that's a lot. I don't even. I can't even. Well,
it's like you're not giving it the important, the seriousness that it, because she's used to it. It's almost normal. They're like that. They're just like that. It's allowed there. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay.
he didn't think it was weird. He thought I was weird for thinking it weird. And so we talked about that stuff a lot, but I didn't think he was sleeping with her.
Okay.
I just thought he had the liberty to touch her.
No, the lip.
Did you ever confront him on that?
No.
No. Oh my gosh. No.
Can you imagine if
No,
your
I
husband was
cannot.
grabbing his sister's boobs? Would you just be
We
like,
wouldn't
yeah,
be-
they're not sleeping together. They're just
Yeah,
allowed.
we would
They
not
have
be
the
a
liberty.
husband and wife if that was going on. I'd be like, no.
Oh my God. Billy Petunia says, don't you know about LDS families? It's normal. It's part of grooming the girls. It's part of the issue with what's his diver face diddling his cousins and such. They get away with it. I never heard that before, but wow. And I'm sure there's some that are, that's not all, but it is still that's wow.
Yeah. Indeed.
All right, let's see. Oh, where the hell did our video go? Oh, there it is. Do you ever you're sharing a tab and you accidentally grab it and move it to its own window and then you can't come back and find it?
No, I do the least amount of clicking as possible so I don't do things like that. Yesterday I was live and reading that whole thing with my whole heart, the Sarah Boone's letters, and I was muted for 10 minutes. So no more
heart.
I was should have seen. I was reading it like I was up for a freaking Oscar. Okay.
That is hilarious. Look at Ava's comment. Sorry, but it's true. My dad says it happens. Deal with it. Oh my God. That's crazy. That is hilarious with her whole heart. That killed me. Truth Teller said, Jen, you goofball.
And everybody is messaging me. Everybody is messaging me, and I'm just like, not even
reading like crazy.
I'm reading it like it's like I am auditioning for my very first role. Opposite.
Oh my God, that is funny.
Johnny Depp, and so I'm being real serious and not letting anybody, including the chat, telling me that I'm on mute, distract me.
That is so funny. I can't wait. I was telling Truth Teller and I was telling JENN LU today right before this, and or earlier when we talked before this, and I've tell Truth Teller all the time, there's something so awesome about you guys together. I loved it so much, but it's not just me that loved it. Everyone I talked to was like, oh my God, they're so great together. You guys have such a good vibe. You have the same kind of sassy humor. I don't know. It was really, I love you here
We're
too.
both
I
the
love
same
both
type
of the vibes
of crazy.
with you guys, but you guys, it's awesome. I love it.
I love it. I had the most fun working with Truth Teller. And I know that you girls are doing Sarah Boone, which we're all doing Sarah Boone. So I know that we're going to have some commentary about Miss Boone. She's a mess.
Yes. I know probably Truth Teller would feel the same way too, because I know she just adores you. And anytime that we're talking about it, you're always welcome on it. I told you that
thank you.
We started too.
Well, you girls know that you're both welcome up on my panel anytime. You know that. You don't even, all you got to do is message me. As long as I'm not reading Sarah Boone's letters, I'll be paying attention to the chat.
Yeah. Oh my God. She's those letters.
Those letters.
It's kind of like Letitia's letters, but you just read it and you're like, oh my God.
This lady I got an edit for the letters. So just wait.
Hey Mallory. Break comes. It was so funny. Mouse was moving. The pages were changing. Sorry. It's so funny.
It was, you guys, and I'm telling you, I was doing my very best Sarah Boone, I was reading from my soul. I had all the inflections. Yes, I had all the inflections, all of it. I did all the things, all her little, all the times that she added up all the hours, the days, the years, all the things.
Truth Teller says we're about to read old Sarah for Phil's.
Absolutely.
Let's see. I just want to put all these women together and watch them on CCTV. Oh my gosh. Hey, Jade Raid. Thank you guys. Hey, Amber.
Hey.
Let's see. Okay. Hey, Purple People Eater. All right. I was just checking the comments before we kept going, but
Okay.
I think I got to the bottom of them. All right.
Yeah, I did. And I confronted him on, what about when we have kids? Would you allow that between our kids? And he just didn't think that there was anything wrong with what was going on.
Okay.
So we thought about it.
So you mentioned that he was a protective big brother. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that?
Well, he just, she had been married. She got married really quickly. I think she ran off to Las Vegas, and this was before I married Alex. I think she ran off to Las Vegas with she married a guy and then came home, and Alex would just always talk about how he wanted to go kick his ass.
Was this Joe or was this somebody else?
No, this was someone else. She got married when she was like 18.
Oh, okay.
And they didn't approve of her choice, and she did run away and elope. And the minute she got back to California, their dad, Barry, made her divorce him. And so Alex was like really, really bothered by that. But if anybody kind of looked at her wrong or treated her he thought was not right, then he was always talking about how he wanted to kick their ass.
Okay. And did you ever see him take steps to that?
No. I really thought he was all talk and no action on that.
Okay.
He always just talked really tough back then.
How old were they when you guys got married and you saw this behavior?
I was 22 and Alex was 24.
Okay.
I didn't actually picture them this young. When I picture them being like, that is really gross when you think about what was happening in their teenage years and what happens behind closed doors when nobody's looking.
Yeah, I mean, she's what I don't remember this call all the way, but I do remember this. But I don't remember it. She's like one step away from saying that Alex was jealous of Lori's husbands. And I will say this, I think her saying that he was real protective is like an understatement. Homeboy took a bat to the head for her.
Yeah.
Because you know that she's the one that swung that bat. Charles didn't have anything to do with it, I don't think.
I don't either. I really don't. Now, the only thing that throws me off is like that morning Ty Lee says like, but what exactly did she see? I can't remember. Like she saw
I have to
or
go back
heard
and
some of
revisit.
it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and revisit this because it's my understanding that they were not home when the actual pew was used, that they didn't actually witness that part. If I had to guess, I would say that what Lori did was allow them to hear enough so that they could say exactly what they did to the police, and then she dipped. But I do think that she's probably the one that hit him in the head with that baseball bat. I don't think, because think about it. Yeah, because it hardly did anything.
Yes.
And, you know, if you were, you know, fighting for what you might think would be your life, you know what I'm saying? If somebody's being aggressive towards you and you have to fight, sometimes your better judgment goes out the window. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's probably more what happened than anything, you know, that, yeah.
I think you're right there. And I think she really did allow them to hear a little bit so that they could be witnesses with her. But, oh my God, it just makes me so mad. Charles Vallow was a professional baseball player in the minor leagues, but still professionally played. He would kill him with a bat.
Right. If he'd wanted to really swing on him, he could have killed him. But more important, but even if he just stopped short of that, he could definitely have done way more damage than the little bitty, hit that he had on the back of his head. He barely had anything.
Yep. Hey, Tess was a semi-pro player. If he hit Alex, it's going to leave his head wide open. Yeah, I think he was like minor leagues or something. Yeah, Melissa does do great. And Melissa, thank you so much. Amber came in here and said, Jade Raid, I didn't realize that you were live. Where Angie's been here, I'll be honest, if I'm way behind on messages, emails, everything. So if anybody, just want you guys to know that it is taking me a little bit because I've got company right now and we have a lot going on, so yeah. But I will definitely get back to you. And yeah, okay. Let's see. Truth Teller, your comment. Someone said your comment to Modine LFT said it made her spit out her drink. Your comment to her earlier made me laugh in my head too. I don't remember it, something funny, but that account is funny.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm gonna keep playing. Okay.
And I'm unfamiliar with how much older Alex was than Lori.
I'd say 3-4 years.
3 to 4 years. So, okay. So she was maybe 20, 21 at the time?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
That was right.
Okay. And where was this at? What state?
Utah.
In Utah?
Mm-hmm. Lori and Alex both lived here in Utah. And then we just went to California a lot. And so a lot of the inappropriate behavior that I saw, I didn't see any of that in Utah. All of the inappropriate behavior I saw was in California at their mom and dad's house.
That's weird.
So anytime that you guys went to visit.
Where are you guys going?
Okay. Sorry, I had somebody walked over here, so I totally missed what they even said right there.
She said that none of the inappropriate behavior occurred in Utah. It occurred only in California at their mom and dad's house.
Well, that is
like
weird.
When he would be inappropriate with Lori, it was always at their parents' house. That is very weird.
That is very weird. I don't know. They were so young at the time. It just gives me, she said, I don't know, early 20s, both of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like it. Now, the laws are different in different states, but the LFT said, I don't care what state it's in. It's a no anywhere.
Thank you.
It is Alex's ex-wife. And Melissa, I'm so excited for Saturday too.
Oh, I'm so excited too. I can't wait to see you girls. I think it's going to be great. You guys are going to do amazing.
Oh my God. Like, I don't know how I didn't know about it. Like, and then you guys started, like you, Melissa, Brittany, Glairer, like all those are the 4 channels recently I seen kind of talking about it. And then I ran across an article and I was like, oh my God, like I didn't realize the details.
Oh, I've been on to Sarah Boone for, oh gosh, a long time. I can't even remember when we did her roast. It's been over a year at least.
So what did Florida do? Just release, why is all that stuff public?
So Florida has one of the most lax Freedom of Information Act laws. Okay. They don't even call it, they have their own term for it. It's called the Sunshine Law. Okay. And like with Casey Anthony. So during the course of the investigation, the court would just upload a buttload of documents and people would just download them. It's just the way Florida is.
Oh, okay.
Especially when the case is, has gotten a lot of attention or whatever, they'll release even more. And you just kind of have to keep your eye on the records website. Yeah. And you'll get stuff.
Wow, that is so cool. I love that. I wish all of them were like that.
Well,
But
Sarah Boone ain't loving it, but
yeah.
she big mad.
Oh well, she shouldn't have done it anyways.
Sure
Oh my
shouldn't have.
God. Oh, her voice is stuck in my, or his voice, I mean, is stuck in my head that next, that Sarah, yeah, I can't, oh God, it's just,
Yes,
oh,
it's awful.
it
It's
is.
awful.
To visit the parents, that's when you saw this behavior.
Yeah.
Okay. And otherwise, how was his behavior at the apartments other than, I guess, kind of touching her?
At the apartments, I didn't really see them interact too much. It seemed like here in Utah, she had her friends that she ran around with, and Alex and I were always together. And so I didn't have a whole lot of interaction. I just remember a lot of the conversations about him wanting to beat up the guys she was dating. And he was always kind of obsessed with where she was going and what she was doing, but we didn't do a lot with her.
Okay. And is that also during that time frame that he would refer to her as being hot, or would that be only when you were visiting the family?
No, that was, during that time he would talk about how hot she was.
Okay. And to your knowledge, are they biological brother and sister?
They are, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's like he's in love with her.
Yes.
And you never talked to him after that last comment where he stated he was going to try to bait Joe into a fight?
Yeah, nope. That was the last time I talked to him.
Yeah,
Okay.
nope, indeed.
And forgive me, would that have been in 2009?
Yeah.
Or would that have been a little later?
No, I think it was 2009 when I was doing the math.
Okay. But it was
right after he had just been in jail.
Okay. And you said like a couple of months maybe after he got out.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. And at that point, did you ever hear of Alex being violent to anybody other than the event with Joe?
No, I hadn't. Like I said, I really thought Alex was all talk and no action. And so I never thought that could happen.
Okay. Did Alex ever...
I was shocked by the tasing.
Well, I can imagine if you've never seen that type of behavior, I can certainly imagine the shock that could come from that. Did Alex ever talk about religion with you or any ideology that he had?
Yeah, he did. While he and I were married, he got excommunicated from the Mormon Church. And then over the course of the years of our communicating...
Do we know why he was excommunicated from the church?
I don't, but it's not, that is not like a very common thing. I mean, I shouldn't say common. How should I put this? Depending on what it is, right? But just from my understanding, there's a lot of like counseling and stuff like that with your bishop or with the church elders before they take that kind of a step, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he died. They said pulmonary embolism, but the weird thing is he died the day after they announced they were exhuming Tammy Daybell. And Tammy Daybell, when she passed away, she had pink foam coming out of her mouth, and he also had pink foam coming out of his mouth. The 911 call is out there of his new wife's son, who
yes.
I can't remember his name, but I know I have it on my chart. So what is it? Let's see. Joseph Lopez. He is Zulima's son. Oops. And he found Alex, and he describes and he said that he also had pink foam and that kind of stuff.
And his actual cause of death was what did you say it was again? Say that one more time.
Pulmonary embolism is what someone said in the chat, I actually don't remember. I know that I think he was cremated too, but I don't.
Oh.
I know that we don't know, and there's really no way of ever finding out.
It's
So that's why.
interesting. I wonder if there is some kind of toxin that can emulate the symptoms of a pulmonary embolism. If
I
both
do
of them
too, and
had it, you know what I mean?
well, that test put malachite poisoning. Remember, that malachite was what she used in her wedding ring, but it's also poisoning. Hold on,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Mhm. It was the stone on her wedding ring, and it was a cheap ring. But yeah, there is a malachite poisoning.
Oh, wow.
So, you guys, Amber and Melissa, you missed it when you at the beginning. His ex-wife said that she witnessed Chad touching Lori's breast, and that he was allowed to do that, like they did it in front of their family members. What did he call it? He felt at liberty to do it.
Yes. Alex,
Yeah.
not Chad, babe.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Alex was grabbing Lori's breast like when they were in their early 20s at the family home and stuff, in front of all the family. They had a very weird sexual type of relationship.
And they simulated sex acts and moaned and groaned.
Yes. Yep. That's so weird, but yes. Ugh.
After our divorce, I know that he said he got rebaptized and then he got excommunicated again. And then I just don't think he ever bothered to try to get rebaptized, but he was always really, really convicted in the faith. He had very strong opinions, but where Alex is weak is he was just sexually promiscuous.
Oh.
And so then he just kept getting kicked out of the church because I think he was a sex addict.
That's why.
There we go.
What do you think he was sexually promiscuous?
Oh, goodness, because he told me. He would tell me. He couldn't control sex. He would find it wherever he could find it.
And is this after you were divorced?
And it was before also. I was just foolish and thought, oh, he's married now, so that's going to be over. But we were actually living when we first moved in together, we were living in Texas. And he had told me about his struggles with addiction before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't really understand what that was at 22. And so I thought, oh, okay, we get married and it's over. But when we were living in Texas, then he came. I had been wanting to move back to Utah because I didn't like living in Texas. And he wanted to stay. But then all of a sudden he came home from work one day and said, okay, we're moving. Pack up the car. Let's go. I didn't ask questions because I was excited to leave. So we packed up the car and we left, but it was really hurried. And we even left some things behind. Well, once we got back to Utah, I found out that actually he had slept with a 15-year-old girl while we were in Texas. And her dad had found out, and so her dad was going to come find him.
Gotcha.
So that's why we left.
I'm going to take care of this problem on my own type of a deal.
Yeah. So Alex, that was why Alex came home and said, okay, we're leaving right now.
Okay.
And we were already married at that point, but that did play into our divorce. There was just too much promiscuity.
Sure.
Surrounding sex in our marriage early on.
So infidelity then, I'm assuming, was part of the issues?
Just with I only know about the 15-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
I only know about that one. And then the other sex issues for us were really the situation with his sister.
The situation with his sister
just the touching and the touching and the things that we've already talked about.
Okay.
It was just so blatant all the time when we were around her.
Oh, so blatant.
And it was
Yikes.
always Lori. He didn't act like that with his other sister Summer, because Summer was really, really young. So, and he didn't act like that with his older sister Stacy. He only acted like that with Lori.
Oh boy.
Okay.
That is so weird. He didn't act like that with the other sister. And wasn't there two other sisters actually? Yeah, there's Summer and Stacy, but one might have been passed away by that point because she
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
other, yeah, Mallory or whatever, her mom, or Melanie.
Melanie.
Anyway, yes. There's so many people in this.
There's
It's
so
hard to-
many.
but you know what? I really think that he was like in love with her personally and obsessed with her. He was obsessed with all of her boyfriends. He was overly touchy. He was her protector. He was there. I mean, he went to jail for assaulting her first husband. He killed her second husband. And he ends up killing her kids for her because her and her husband say that they're zombies.
Right.
You know, no, he's not alive, Candy Cane. He was found, he died like out of nowhere. The day after Tammy Daybell they said they were exhuming Tammy Daybell. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done with it. I think we got about, a few minutes, but not much.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good. However you want to do it.
Okay. So, since all of this stuff has obviously been hitting the media, have you been contacted by any other family members or anyone else and provided information with the intent that they wanted you to say this or anything like that?
No, I've actually really, really kept a low profile because I don't want to be in the news. I don't want my kids
Too late.
felt a responsibility to at least say what I heard in that last conversation. And it's taken me a while to even get to you because I left a tip on the Gilbert police, and I left a tip at Idaho, and I left a tip at the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't ever hear from anyone. And then it was just this last week I realized I should have left the tip handler. But no, I haven't been contacted. No. I'm not even sure that people can find our marriage and divorce license because it was just so long ago.
Where was that?
So
at? What state?
We got married in Wyoming.
And was it pretty much a know-nothing deal for the divorce?
Yeah.
Okay. Since there's no kids in common?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So I'm asking this next question because it's going to get asked one way or the other. So it's not to be judgmental or anything like that. But why come forward now this far down the road from when the investigation started?
Well, like I said, at first, I couldn't even believe it. When I saw it on the news, I thought, I can't believe this happened. And then after about a month of that, then I did start trying to reach out. I tried all of those agencies that I told you of.
Okay. When did you actually first hear about this?
December
of last year?
Yes.
Okay. And that was because of the search for the kids and or the death of Alex or what?
No, it was it was the search for the kids. I was watching the news one night.
Okay, and
it came on, and I was just floored.
Okay. All right. right. I'm going to just let you know we record our conversations just because the prosecutors want that done. But I'm going to stop the recording now so I can actually ask for your personal information. Okay. So just kind of.
Okay. Can I tell you one thing though?
Yes.
Because I don't want to leave anything out.
Yes.
When I first found out, very first, I did reach out to Alex's sister, Summer, through Instagram and just said, because I heard Alex had died. And so I reached out to his sister, Summer, and I said, I'm just so sorry to hear about Alex. And her response was, don't believe what you're seeing in the news. And that was it. There was no other contact, but I just didn't want you to think that when you asked me if I'd talked to anyone, I talked to Summer, but that was the only exchange, and that's all I said.
That's quite interesting because
Yes.
Lori, don't believe what you're seeing in the news. Do you remember when Lori's mom and sister did that interview and they were like standing up for her? Wow. I wonder how they feel now. I think that's it. Let me look at the transcript.
There was something else that she said just a second ago. That he asked her. He asked her if any of the family had contacted her and wanted her to tell this story. And I thought that was interesting.
Oh,
because
that is interesting.
Is he asking if it's Lori's family, as if this was going to be some type of defense at some point? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
Like
I don't know.
Maybe there was an inappropriate relationship and Alex was blackmailing her, something. It's such an interesting question to ask.
Well, yeah, maybe he's heard that from someone else.
Right. Like, it doesn't seem like a routine question to ask. It doesn't seem like I'm going to cover all the bases and ask all the things because who knows if she's ever going to call back or whatever. You know what I mean? It just seems more than that. I don't know.
Well, I don't know either, but she closes it by saying basically, I couldn't believe that what I saw. And when I remembered what he said about going to kill Joe Ryan, I had to come forward. And it makes me wonder, like Joe Ryan's sister, she started a new channel about this. She had one called Analytics, but now she has A Murderous Heart. But she has been breaking down, the case, and she has shared pictures of where he was found. And she truly believes in her heart that Lori killed him. She wants police to at least do an investigation.
I have to say that I do think that Lori is a Black Widow. And I have to say that even if none of this had happened with JJ and Tylee, if they were still alive, I think that it wouldn't be, I don't think Charles would be. I mean, Chad. I don't think Chad would have survived the relationship. I think she would have taken him out at some point too. He would have done something, and that would have been that.
So what do you think about Chad's kids that have come forward and they did a whole freaking episode of like 20 or 48 hours, but basically saying that he was framed and their dad would never do that. And, they were right there when their mom died and they don't believe he was involved in that. To me, it's kind of like, look, I can get being in denial, but you're downright delusional if you don't realize, look at the phone call that they had do you remember that phone call when
yes.
they're there searching the yard and
yes.
Lori's like, are you going to call me later? He's like, if I can. I mean, he knew he was done. Thank you, Pizza Chemist.
I think that I think for Chad Daybell's kids, it's going to be a lot like how it was for Buster. I think Buster Murdoch heard things in that courtroom that I think he was hearing it for the first time, particularly when Alec testified. I just think that it's going to be one of those situations for them. And also it's hard for kids, even when they're adults, because I remember like when my mom died and I didn't have a good relationship with my dad. I remember sitting in my garage having a cigarette and thinking to myself, I'm a fucking orphan now, even though I was a grown woman. I mean, I was like, what? This was 8 years ago. I'm 46 now. So what, 38 years old?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
so
way too old
sorry.
to be an
Oh,
orphan. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
was
but way too
grown.
young to,
Yeah, my
that's
mom,
young.
she was young. She was young. Um, but yeah, like I think for them, maybe that is why, because that's all they have left of their family. And perhaps they're just doing the best they can, or Chad has told them things. And, because this case, although there's stuff that's out, not everything is out. And really, other than this is a big deal, but other than the bodies being found at Chad's, right? I mean, we don't really know that much about Chad's involvement with what happened with Tylee and JJ, because
Yeah,
they pretty much
completely.
kept that under wraps. So maybe that is how they are able to be in this level of denial, or
Right.
taking a wait and see approach.
And I wonder what they have on him, like how much they have against him, because we know they have the emails where he tells like her that Tylee's very dark, she has a dark spirit and all that. They have some things, but that doesn't directly show that he was part of their murder, because he's charged
Right.
with murder.
Right. And the thing of it is, yes, we have those emails, which I think it's interesting that we have those at all. But remember, I'm telling you guys, I firmly, and I have rarely been incorrect on these assessments of these people. Don't ask me why I can, I'm the murderer whisperer, but for whatever reason, it usually ends up coming out that I was right. I really do think that we have those emails because Lori wanted us to have those emails. I don't think it was Chad. I think it was Lori telling Chad, but he was emailing with her, and she was doing that intentionally for a paper trail against him, not her. Meaning she was setting it up for just in case anything ever happened and they were to be caught, it would be his idea. And, she was just, and,
Oh my God.
brainwashed and, blah, 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 blah. That's what I mean about her, being that type of person where you think it's your idea. And I promise
because
you,
she's
there's,
that good at manipulation. Yes, there
yes.
are. Yes.
And I bet you Chad has sat in that jail cell more than one night thinking, I don't know how I think he's probably fucking figured it out, but I do think that he's in love with her. And I don't think he's going to turn on her in any meaningful way. I don't think that she's going to have her trial and most likely be found guilty. And Chad is going to say, shit, it's every man for himself. Let me go ahead and turn state's evidence and get a better, because the deal will be done it'll be done. So I just don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to fight this all the way, because I don't think
his
he
lawyer
thinks they
don't
have
like
enough.
Lori.
No, he doesn't.
You're right.
And I don't think I think his lawyer and him think that the state, they have plenty on Lori. And let's be honest, of the two of them, which I hate even saying this because it's so messed up, but of the two of them, Lori is the one with the stronger motive to unalive Tylee and JJ. She's the one that felt, and I hate saying this too, but she's the one that wanted to be unencumbered, and that they were, tying her down or whatever. And
his kids are alive. So.
Correct. So why is it her kids, that only had the darkness in them? Why, you know what I mean? And more to the point, let's say this was Chad's idea. Okay. And I understand that this concept of the light and the dark and possession and all that is a very difficult, far out there concept to get your brain around. But let's just think rationally about it, even though it's completely irrational. If it were you and somebody was telling you that it was somebody that you were in a relationship with and you both had children from previous relationships, and this person was coming to you and they were saying, to you, your kids have, on a scale of 1 to a dabook, your kids have a dabook. They're completely possessed. Wouldn't the first question be out of your mouth? Maybe not the first, maybe the second or the third, but damn top 10 at least. How come only my kids have the dabook? How come your kids are over here like on the angelic side and it's only my kids that seem to be possessed by demons? That's the question I'd be asking.
Yeah.
But she never did. There's no evidence of her questioning him at all.
That's a really good point because, I would think the same thing. Like, hey, wait a minute. What about your kids? How come my kids are dark? My family's dark. But, I don't know.
But the other thing too with her is that we're going to have to sit down. That should be the next thing we do, is those interviews after Charles was unalived.
Yeah.
And Charles's body cam. Because if you listen to Charles, if this is a woman who is able to be controlled and underneath somebody's thumb, the way that she's, I guess, trying to say that she was, and I don't even really know what Lori is saying, to be honest with you, but I suspect this is going to be part of it, that she was under Chad's thumb. Look how she was with Charles. What kind of scared woman runs off with the kids and takes vehicles and all the things that she did? And I was thinking about that with the police then when they were talking to him. I think the reason they behaved the way they did, and we have to give them grace, because we're watching hindsight. We know how the story is going to end. But in that moment, I think they were worried that what if Lori was the victim of DV and she was fleeing with her children? That's why I think they took the approach they did with her, or with Charles. But she's pretty gutsy. And I watched her. She kind of, let me see how to put this. She uses a very soft tone, but if you listen to their interview with Chad on the Feel the Fire podcast, which you have to listen to. Oh, also, Dr. B, Benny Keys, and I all roasted that. You have to listen to that. It's hilarious, too.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Yeah, we had a blast. Lori, even though her voice is considerably lower than Melanie's, Melanie is like all hype and screaming into the mic. It's really Lori that's controlling the show. In fact, she's controlling Chad, too. It's just that you don't notice it as much because her way of doing it is very, very subtle.
Wow. Oh, I can't wait to watch that now. Now you got me.
I've been watching this. Listen, I've been watching Hot Cheeto Dust Lipstick for a minute. I've been paying attention to her because I knew she was going to come up with some cockamamie bullshit like, I was brainwashed and he just told me what to do. And I said, okie dokie, Chad. Like, I knew she was going to pull that. And there's something that I just knew she was going to pull it, and I could see her subtle manipulations. And I was like, this bitch is a whole manipulator. And look, these two fools that are talking to her don't even realize they're being manipulated.
Truth teller, she ain't controlling them frown lines. It's Helen Gel with no Botox. Them frown lines. They're bad. Yeah, she's aged a lot.
She's aged like milk. And I've already said, like last time we were live, Lori, if you're out there and you can hear me or somebody's listening and that they communicate with Lori, tell that girl she needs to drink a lot more water.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Because
you may not be able to have access. You may. Yeah. She looks like SpongeBob and Patrick when they went to go visit Sandy.
I love that.
And they start drying up and talking about.
They're like, oh my goodness gracious. This is going to be so fun covering this with you. Thank you for doing this with me. I'm so
I can't
excited.
Thank you.
It's always good conversation. Well, not only are you funny, but you're smart. Like
I try.
Yeah, you are.
Thank you. I just can't. Okay. I'm all for women sticking together and supporting one another and building each other up. And we have one that's on our team that's acting a fucking fool like this one is, that I have no patience for it. I can't take Lori, because I can't take women who use the excuse of what she did was foul, and I think she should just own what she did. Whatever her part in it was, she should just be honest and own it. Period. Not stand behind some man like some man controlled me. I'm not saying that there aren't women that has happened to, because there are. But this is not what that is. I don't think, in my opinion. She just does not everything about her comes off to me as very disingenuous, as if she is being whoever it is that's in front of her in that moment, who they want her to be.
Right.
Like,
Well, I
you
know
know damn
people
right
like
well,
that.
when Melanie She Bangs Gibb called her, she knew she was being recorded. She knew she was up to no good, and she still was like, she was just throwing like shade, but in a very sneaky way. I would rather somebody just throw shade like out in the open, loud and proud, say it with your chest. But the way she was doing it was real condescending. Well, I still love you, Mel. You're my best friend. Like it was just like, look, this bitch is trying to entrap you, Lori, and you know it, and I know it. Chad knows it, and Melanie knows it, but you're over here trying to act like you don't know it. You know what I mean?
Look
And I
at
don't like
this.
that.
Have you heard of this? I hadn't heard of it. Someone in chat mentioned it. They said and look what it says. Dang it. Where's her description? Hold on. Where do I get that? About Joshua Vallow's aunt, Charles Vallow's niece, seeking truth and justice for my family. Love always wins. Charles Vallow. Help me advocate. That's really cool.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to have to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. She has a PayPal link on her channel like that. Wow, I didn't know that you could do that, but
yeah, you can have in your about section, you can have the link. I don't actually really, to be honest with you, I keep hearing people talk about this whole, can't have your PayPal, blah, 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 blah. And I've actually never seen anything from YouTube about that. I've never read anything specific about it. Like, I don't know what the line is. I don't know if you can have it. You can have it in your about section. You can drop it like through Nightbot if it's asked or whatever. I don't know I've never actually read anything on YouTube's terms of service about having a PayPal or a Cash App in your like links, because everybody does it. And if it was that big of a deal, they wouldn't be doing it.
yeah, that's true. And well, I mean, I've done it, but I don't do it a lot. But unless somebody asks, we usually don't drop it. Sometimes my mods will, but usually if they ask me, can I tell them no, unless somebody asks, just because I don't know. I don't know. And I don't also, we're talking about stuff that like gets people emotionally invested. So I feel kind of, you know what I mean? It just it doesn't feel right sometimes. I don't know. It's just,
I think you have to do it, Allie, how you want to do it. Like whatever it is that makes you comfortable. I'm very weird about money. And so it makes, my mods are very sweet and will drop it every so often, but not like on any I don't notice it being done on any type of schedule or anything like that, because I feel the same as you. I'm talking about some really horrific stuff. And granted, when I work on a case, like I put my all into it. I wish y'all could, except for 10 minutes last night. I mean, my all was in it, but y'all couldn't hear it.
We just didn't know.
We just didn't know. But don't worry, because after those like 10 minutes, I think it's like 6 minutes, but after those 6 minutes are over, it's like 39 something through 45 something. Like it's that intervals if you guys go back and watch it. But anyway, I don't, and I people do want to like send you a tip, and sometimes they don't want to go through the super chat or whatever, but well, I get it.
I think when somebody asks to, I don't feel that way. It's just, I don't know.
Just to do it on your own. No, I get it. Yeah. Especially because, let's be honest, as of late, there's been a lot of talk, about money and who's getting it and who's not and how much they're getting. And I don't ever want to be compared to a tragedy pimp in any way, shape, or
Oh,
form. And I know you
me
don't
neither.
either. So, I think the fact that you are, I don't think anybody would ever mistake you for a tragedy pimp, though, really, Allie, or ever think that you're just, doing the
Well, thank you.
most
And
in that
I
way.
feel the exact same about you. Like,
Thank
definitely
you.
not a tragedy pimp, but man, I mean, it is something you got to think about. And the
Hmm.
ridiculous way some of these people act, it's like, no wonder people talk about it because, damn, some of this stuff is ridiculous. Like, oh God, with all the protesters and all, there's a lot of craziness from
Exactly.
YouTube. So.
And I think sometimes it's unfortunate because, again, Ashley Banfield, I'm looking at you, and the things that she has said about people like you and I, as if we're doing, she's just
Yes.
lumped everybody in, online sleuths. First of all, I would not say that I'm an online sleuth at all by any stretch of the imagination. I know how to work Google. And I don't have the access to things that the mainstream media does, that journalists do. But as far as like reporting things that as fact that are rumor, ma'am, do we
Yes, I
need to go
know.
back and revisit some of your
Like, who are you
nightly
to talk, lady?
briefings? Exactly. Oh, Judgy McJudgerson over there, you're doing the most, and you have a way bigger audience.
Thank you,
In
Ava.
fact, you do a whole segment and then your channel, News Nation's channel, breaks it up, into like 3 9-minute segments. So you get even more views that way. So
Yeah.
don't come at us like that, Banfield. I remember you from when you were on Fox 4 in Dallas Fort Worth, telling
Oh
kids when
my
their snow
gosh.
days were. Yeah, she used to be on in the morning, and she would do the morning news on Fox 4, and if there was a snow day, that's what she reported on. So I mean, she's come a long way, but don't get
Yeah.
so
Oh wow,
bougie,
that's crazy.
Ashley. Don't be
No
bougie.
doubt. Especially when you're the one creating all the rumors, but okay.
Thank you. Especially when you said that there's a conflict of interest when you knew damn right well there wasn't. That there is a procedure for that, and you knew that the person impacted by the conflict of interest was Brian, and if he was apprised of the situation and agreed and signed a waiver, he would not
Yep.
be able to use that at some point in his appeals. I have a good enough diploma, and I know that. Okay, because I looked it
Well,
up, ma'am.
yeah. And yeah, her coverage on Lori is starting to be like Idaho. It's just
Yeah,
Judge and Lori. Oh, I just don't get it. What Ashley, you're
there's
sitting there acting. Oh yeah, let me stop.
yeah,
She's
no, because there's enough drama and craziness just reporting the actual facts in this case.
yeah.
There's
Yep.
there's enough. Just like with
Yep.
Sarah Boone, there's a ton in that case too. Leticia, same thing. There's no need to make anything up. And
Yes.
by the way, all 3 of these people are going to trial, which is when the truth will really come out. So there's even less of a need now. There's never a need, I think, to make things up. There, in my opinion, that's just terrible. Nobody should be doing that. But
Yep.
we're about to find everything out, and this would be actually the worst time to be making stuff up, particularly because it's all fixing to come out, and
Yeah,
and
you're
people are
gonna
going
look
to
like
be
a
like,
liar.
correct.
It's crazy.
It is
All right.
crazy.
Well, I have a live with
I know
on
you got
Teresa's channel.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I'm gonna go eat
Did you
before I
make
go
this one
live.
redirect? You should do that. Have this
How do
one
you do it?
redirect over to Teresa's live. So you go to your studio, and when you had set this live up in the the details, it'll if you scroll down to show more, I think it's where it's at. I'll do it one time because I did it with Truth Teller.
Yeah,
I
I want
had
to
my
see that.
live
That's so
redirect
cool.
to Truth Teller so that everybody would go over there. And if you go from if you do the redirect from this live to Teresa's live, which we're about to end it, so it's too late to do it. But for next time, if you do it, when the people from this chat go over to her chat, it will tell the creator that they came from this live.
Oh my God, how cool is that?
Yeah.
Featured places. I think I'm looking in that recording date and location. You'll have to show me on a thing.
I'll show you. I'll take a screenshot and show you.
And did you know I might do a fundraiser through a video at some point soon? Because now, after you get to 10,000, you can do fundraisers, and the money, it like never goes in your hands. YouTube has a list of all these charities that they will do.
I saw that.
And then somebody can, so like say we do a video one day that's like a huge like panel with like 10 creators, and we all raise money for we'll just say St. Jude's, but because it's just first thing I thought of. We all raise money for St. Jude's. It will be on the screen. It'll say fundraiser for St. Jude, and people can donate, and it doesn't come to me at all. It goes, YouTube gives it straight to St. Jude.
Oh,
it's
I love
really
that.
Cool.
I love that.
And they don't take a percentage, I don't think, like the way with their super chats and stuff. They give
good.
most of it.
See, we should do that, because I think we gotta, as true crime content creators, we do have, I think, a responsibility, and I do think that we should give back. And I think that what we should really do is, there's enough of us in this part of the true crime community that work together frequently. I think like maybe maybe each case we do, like, it's obvious that we can't do it with Alec Murdaugh, that ship has sailed, but we have Vallow, Stout, and Boone coming up, and I think we should all get together collectively and all be on a panel and do a charity where we let's do it. Let's do that. We should plan for that.
And then, like, this is the first time I've ever looked at it. Or you can search, and they have a bunch in there. And there was another option that said add a nonprofit that you support. So you probably could, but they give the money directly to it. I'll look to find out more about it, and let's do something.
Yeah,
like
let's do something like that, because like we should like for Leticia, we should do a children's charity also for like maybe for Lori Vallow's we'll do autism, because for JJ, and then for Gannon we'll do another children's charity, and then we'll figure out something for Boone. But we should definitely do that with these cases, because I think we should give a little back.
Yeah, I do too. And Ava, I already messaged her. I need to go check TikTok to see what she said, because I've done that before in the past. Like, I remember, Jen, you said that you would do it. We could do something for her. Like
yes.
Sharon Gannon's mom, she's traveling from like South Carolina to Colorado for 6 weeks. She's got kids and all that kind of stuff. So,
I would be 100%. Absolutely. Whatever you need, we'll talk. We'll talk. I know, because you got to go and get something to eat, and I'm hungry too. And then, so everybody go over to Criminalities in 30 minutes, because that's where Allie and Criminality and Michelle and everybody we love over there. And they're going to have a really amazing live. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm super excited for it. I'm so excited. I'm not even going live tonight. I was going to do Sarah Boone's interrogation, but I'm going to put it off till tomorrow, because I want to go over there and support these gals.
Oh, I'm so excited. And thank you for that, by the way. And will Ahmad drop her link for me, if you guys don't mind? And then I'm excited too, because Michelle has spent a lot of time putting together a presentation of everything that's happened from start to finish, with a slideshow and images, and we're going to go through and comment on everything. So it's going to be really good.
It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited to see you girls and what you guys come up with. I can't wait. So
I can't wait too.
I was invested in this case, in Gannon's case too. And to see we're so close to getting justice for this sweet boy, that I want to put it all I love it when we all get together and work together. I just love it.
I do too. I do too. That's why I'm loving this and looking forward to the next few weeks. We're going to have a lot of fun. But
Oh,
thank you for
yes.
coming on. It was
You're
so fun.
welcome.
I love
Thank you
when you
for
come.
having me, babe. Thanks for
It,
having
it's
me.
You're the kind of person that you could have on and we could talk for 5 more hours and it feels like it's so easy. Conversation is easy and I love it. So thank
I
you
feel
so
the
much.
same way about you. You know that. I absolutely adore you. All right, I'm going to get down so you can say bye to your chat. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Allie. I had a great time, and I'll see you over at Criminalities.
Okay, thank you so much. And you guys, I'm actually just going to go ahead and jump down too. I'm going to I use the background that has our pictures in it that Teresa had given me. Let me change it. I'm going to Jenn's channel is in the description box. And let me go ahead and put it in the chat too. Please, if you're not subscribed to JENN LU, I don't know what you're doing with your life. You better get over there and subscribe seriously, because a lot of the cases that we talk about over there, she covers trials. She does a later night show. If you're not subscribed, I do think that you would really love it. So I'm going to make sure the link's right here. And I will see you guys in a little bit over on Teresa's. Let me grab the link for that one too, actually, just to make it easy. I'm going to grab the link for the live that's happening tonight. It's right here. She does, True Teller. She makes them less heavy. She's great. She is hilarious. And so are you, True Teller. You're like really very similar in those ways. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. Hey, I will see you tomorrow because it's been like 2 or 3 days. I've been so busy, but if I have time tomorrow evening, I want to show you guys some stuff that has to do with Julia and Madeline and all of that. It's pretty crazy, but so I hope that we'll find time for that. Truth Teller and I are coming on Saturday. Sunday, Real Talk with Alex, Melissa and Rena are coming on. So we have so much good stuff coming soon. So I hope to see you guys there. And yeah, thank you for being here. I love you all. Have a great night. And thank you, mods. Bye.